Supper with Stub, supper with Stub, mixing up drinks and making grub, pairing beer and wine with the dishes we love. Come on in and see the spell of Supper with Stub.
Hello friends, welcome to Supper with Stub. You know what we do here, we drink and we cook things. Today we're doing a great menu for your unofficial end of summer dining this Labor Day weekend. And as always, we start Supper with Stub with a cocktail. Today is no different. Today we are making the Pegu Club cocktail. Now this cocktail originated sometime in the 20s or 30s on the banks of the Pegu River there in Rangoon. So this cocktail, we have 2 ounces of gin. I'm using the Jackalope gin from my friends at Peach Street Distilling in Colorado. Met them when I was traveling earlier this spring. Awesome, awesome people, awesome booze. We're using this one today. You should be using a London Dry. However, this is not quite that. It's a little more aromatic. I just think it does well with the cocktail. All right, to that, we're gonna add 3/4 ounce of Cointreau. Now keep in mind, Cointreau is a triple sec. If you want to use another orange liqueur, you can use Grand Marnier. Keep in mind that that's going to be a little sweeter, a little thicker. It's going to make a little, maybe heavier cocktail. That's not what we're going for, being it's still summer. To that, we're going to add 1 ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed. Why? Because we're not basic bitches. We're going to add a drop of orange bitters, 1 drop of aromatic or Angostura bitters. Oops, 2 got in there. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We're going to shake our cocktail and enjoy it anyway. Here we go. I often get asked when you shake a cocktail, when you stir a cocktail. A good general rule of thumb is if there's juice in the cocktail, you shake it. There's some exceptions to that, but there you go. You see this comes out this almost creamy. We're gonna go ahead and we're putting this in this nice little coupe glass, as we know. Left breast Marie Antoinette, that's the legend of what this glass came from. Bam, let's give this guy a go. Oh, it's citrusy, it's refreshing. It's got some nice zing to it, nice, cool. You could easily throw a couple of these down, but definitely be careful because you are drinking basically, you know, a heavy martini with every one. Okay, so I said we're gonna have a great menu today of some summertime, end of summer grilling things, and today we're gonna do some chicken. We're gonna do some barbecued chicken on the grill, which is awesome. So to start that, we're gonna go ahead and do a marinade. We're gonna want this marinade to sit for at least 1 hour, probably 2 to 4 if you have time. Let's move all of these things out of the way. A cocktail can't move too far because guess what? We're gonna sip on that while we go. All right, we got the ingredients for the marinade here. What we're basically gonna do is just add all of these to a bowl. So when you're doing any kind of marinade for any kind of meat, a good general rule of thumb as well is you want an acid component and you want a fat component. So the acid component in this case is our rice wine vinegar. The fat component is our olive oil. It's gonna help coat and help that marinade stick to our chicken. So we've got a barbecue sauce. I'm just using a pretty standard barbecue sauce, probably closer to like Kansas City style, kind of thick, a little molasses in there. All right, let's put this away here. Now, a lot of people also will not actually add their spices to the marinade. I don't subscribe to that. So I'm gonna put a pretty liberal amount of salt in here. I'm gonna hold a little bit back for putting on the chicken right before we throw it on the grill. All of our onion powder, bam, right there, and all of our garlic powder into this marinade here. We're just gonna take a whisk, mix this all together. And you see we don't need a ton of marinade, so you're either gonna do this in a Tupperware or in a 1 gallon plastic bag, but just enough to mix it all in. You see I have some drumsticks. We're going straight drumsticks today. Easy to cook, easy to grab when you're barbecuing and wandering around. So that's what we're gonna do. Once again, you can see this would go great in a bag. This isn't gonna completely cover. That's why a lot of people would use a bag for this here. But my little secret is about every 15, 20 minutes, nice tight seal here on any kind of plastic wrap you have. And I'll just give this thing a shake like this. Like I said, every 15, 20 minutes or so. Anytime you walk by the fridge, give it a little shake like this. Make sure it's laying flat. All right, we're gonna clean this up and then we're gonna get to the first of our side dishes for today. All right, friends, the first side dish we're gonna tackle today is potato salad. Now, I was talking to a friend earlier this week, telling her about the menu for this week's episode, and she asked me, what kind of potato salad do you make, Stub? And I replied, redneck. Well, I think what she meant is it mustard based or is it mayonnaise based? This is definitely more of a mustard base. There is mayonnaise involved. However, this is basically what I kind of grew up having as potato salad. So we have our about 3 pounds of potatoes. We've got our finely chopped red onions. Now I like to add both dill and sweet relish to mine. Nice color, nice little zing. You get a little salty, a little sweet. So we're just gonna go ahead and mix these dry ingredients here. Now, let me say, when cooking the potatoes, I go ahead and cut mine up into bite-sized chunks and put them in water and set it to boil. Once it boils, I leave them in for maybe 10 minutes or so. You want these things to be tender, but also not mushy, to where when you're stirring in your ingredients, they're basically gonna end up as mashed potatoes. All right, so we have our dry ingredients in here. Now, to this, we are going to add our mustard. Once again, this is the star of the show for me. I guess this is more of a, I don't know, like I said, I grew up in Texas, as you all know. This is just sort of what we did with potato salad. Now, there may be some ingredients in here you think that I'm leaving out. A lot of people will add, and of course our mayonnaise on top of that. A lot of people will add other things in here, some pimentos, what else? And here's the redneck part right here, just a little touch of ketchup. I don't know, maybe it makes the color nice. I don't really know why we did that. We just kind of always did. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and just incorporate all of the wet ingredients into the potatoes and the dry ingredients we have here. All right, yeah, so as far as other ingredients, once again, anything you want to add. I also, we'll do paprika every now and again in ours. Depends on who's eating it, how spicy they want it, one way or the other. One thing you don't add to this is raisins. We all know this, right? Raisins in potato salad? Oh, hell no. All right, so you see basically how easy this is to incorporate. Just get everything nice and wet here. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy a little taste. What I love about this is you get some creaminess. Wow, you get some creaminess from the mayonnaise, but that mustard really gives a nice zing. Now we definitely need some pepper in here. Once again, I don't want to be accused of not seasoning my food well, but I always like to mix everything together and then just kind of add spices after the fact until we get it there. I don't want to over season either, but I don't want to be the one showing up at a barbecue with also inferior potato salad. All right, friends, that's pretty much how to make this really, really, really basic potato salad here. Fresh, easy. You can have this done in, basically 20 minutes, honestly. I like to let my potatoes cool a good amount before we make the potato salad, so they aren't getting mushed up. But yeah, basically, there you go. And then we can taste again. We can add just a little more salt. Like I said, you want to kick this up, add some cayenne pepper, add some paprika, whatever you want, just no freaking raisins. All right, friends, we have our chicken here. We got one more side dish to put together before we go out to the grill, and that is some fresh corn. Yeah, it's corn season. I like to do my corn a little differently. I want to thank my buddy Ray for helping me discover or teach me this recipe. So we've got our corn. You see, we're going to do this on the grill. So what we're going to do is just add a little salt and pepper to our corn here. Then we're going to fold this up into a nice little boat. And over top, we're going to put a tablespoon of butter and have a sip of our cocktail. Oh, look at that. That thing's gone. Guess what? Doesn't matter. We have a beer here. We're going to put a little bit of beer in our corn boat. What we're basically doing is steaming this corn in beer and butter with a little salt and pepper. And yes, it's every bit as delicious as you think it is. So we're gonna do this 4 times. Always be careful. If you wanna rewrap these so some of the beer doesn't start oozing out or the butter when it starts melting, you can do that. I prefer to single wrap it and just be careful with it. Put it on with the open side up when you put it on the grill. So we're gonna do that times 3. Now I'm always asked, Stub, how much beer do you put in your corn? Well, I don't know, a couple ounces. Just pour it till it feels good. I've got 4, I've used about half of this beer, and the good thing is, you have the rest of the beer to drink. Now the other thing I get asked seriously about this corn is what kind of beer works best. Whatever beer is open. I love Shinerbach, I like a little bit of the The malty notes on that, it's a beer I normally have around. Just works well with this corn. Get a little bit of a smoky flavor in it. Nothing too extravagant, just a nice little burn off as you're doing your corn on the grill. Now, I've had our chicken in the marinade for about 2 hours, give or take. As you can see from here, I've shaken this thing up. It's nice and messy. Let's go ahead and shake it up again so it's nice and messy as we get it out. Now, with a lot of marinades, sometimes people say to pat the marinade off of there. I'm not going to do that with this one. As you can see, we've got the marinade sticking fairly well. We've got some seasoning. And as I said before, a lot of people won't put the actual dry seasonings in their marinade. I like to do it. You see it's stuck well enough here that we're going to get some nice, nice flavor out of that there. Just going to put all these down here. And if you want to add a little extra salt and pepper, that's great. Once again, I'm going to just put a little touch on there. I don't want to be the guy accused of bringing bland food to the barbecue, once again. So just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And yes, I touched this chicken. So this salt and pepper is dead to me after we finish seasoning this chicken off here, since I've now put my hands in it. You can salt and pepper both sides if you'd like. Once again, we have enough seasoning on there. We just want to add a little bit of a kick. All right, we're going to carry this out to the grill and get to cooking. All right, friends, we moved out to the grill. We have our chicken prepped. We have our corn prepped. Let's go. We need this grill about 325 to 350. We do that because we don't want to basically burn the chicken skin before it gets cooked all the way through. So we're just going to put our corn on the grill and let that start going. This back burner I'm going to turn up just a hair. And then once again, easy as pie, throw our chicken on. You hear there's a little bit of sizzle, and you may not be able to hear it out of the just outdoor noise that's going on right now. So our grill is hot. We're going to put our chicken down and let it sit here for about 5 to 6 minutes before we start adding some base to it and flipping it over. All right, friends, our chicken legs have been on for about 4 minutes here. You see we're starting to get some nice cook. You can hear some sizzle on there. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and baste the chicken. So we want to put a liberal amount, but not too much on here, because what we don't want is this sugar and molasses and sweetness from our sauce burning the skin too much, and we're going to keep rebasting as we cook here. So we're going to baste this side, then let it cook for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to flip it over. Total cook time on this chicken is going to be about 25 minutes if you keep your grill at a low enough temperature. Once again, 325, 350. Try to keep it there best you can. All right, we're going to close and let this sit for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to flip it over and baste the other side. All right, friends, we've got another 3 or 4 minutes on this first side. We're going to go ahead now and just turn all of our chicken legs over with our tongs, and we're going to get a little more sizzle on that. We're going to cook some of this sauce in there. Once again, a light basting. You can see this side's getting nice and cooked here. Getting some brown. Hey, does anyone want to guess where the hot spot on my grill is? All right, so we have these flipped over. We're going to go ahead and baste this other side. Once again, liberally, but we don't want it oozing and dripping to where it's going to end up burning the skin too much before we're ready to pull this off the grill. All right, now we're going to go ahead and turn our corn over as well. We want to turn it over about 360. If you can avoid, you see that smoke, that's from the little bit of the beer and butter leaking out of that one. We didn't close it up quite well enough. All right, now we're going to close it down, let this cook another probably about 10 minutes total. We're going to baste one more time, then we're going to flip over and baste on the other side and then pull them off. So there you go. All right, friends, we're in from the grill. You see we have our beautiful barbecue chicken legs. We have our beer boat corn, and of course the potato salad we made earlier. Let's go ahead and make a plate. Since we are doing this barbecue style, I'm gonna go ahead and do this off of a paper plate. And so we get ourselves a chicken leg, get ourselves some delicious potato salad here, and of course piece of corn. Now this is a messy meal. You need a lot of napkins available for this, but that is just fine. All right, let's try the star of this meal first, this chicken, see how this goes. Wow. Chicken is tender, it's tangy. You definitely get the seasoning in there, even though we just put a little bit of salt and pepper on the end after the marinade. Once again, that marinade was on for about 2 hours. Go 2 to 4 hours on that marinade, and that's gonna be perfect. All right, let's try our other hot dish. This corn is still steaming. Now the key to this corn is to not overcook it, just like with any corn. You don't want it mushy. You want it crisp. You want it obviously chewable, but you also still want it firm enough that it gives you a nice crunch when you're eating your corn on the cob. Let's try this potato salad. These three things together are absolutely a late summer barbecue, say Labor Day, match made in heaven. Now, what wine are we gonna pair with this? I thought long and hard about it, and I want something that's gonna stand up to the tanginess of the chicken and the potato salad itself. Once again, we have some creamy notes in some of these things. Enter Sancerre. So Sancerre, nice region in the Loire Valley of France. There's 2 types of grapes grown there. You get Sauv Blanc and you get Pinot Noir. So there's reds and rosés, both Sauv Blancs, and then the whites are the reds and rosés are Pinot Noir, and the whites are Sauv Blanc. Look at me, this chicken's done gone to my head because it slapped your mama good. So what do you get from a Sancerre rosé? You're gonna get acid, 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 which is always a great component when you're pairing with food, especially tangy foods. You want something that's gonna hold up well. So you look at the color of this Pinot Noir here. It's a little darker. This is a Romana Sancerre rosé. On the nose, I'm getting some, man, like strawberry, almost strawberry seeds on here. Nice tropical notes. Let's give it a taste. Wow, acid, 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 and because it's Pinot Noir, you get a little bit of earthiness in there as well, which I think is gonna go great with this food. Let's give it a try. Amazing with the chicken. The acid holds up to the tanginess on the potato salad as well. And of course the corn, you get the cream and the salt from the corn. What a just amazingly delightful pairing this is. Like honestly. And this wine is great to drink when it's warm outside. You can sip on this while you're barbecuing. Serve it to your friends, neighbors, family, whoever's over for your cookout. Really, really great. Now, once again, all of you aren't wine people here. I told you this is a napkin-heavy meal right here. So enter a beer. What beer did I go with? I thought long and hard about this one as well. And what I went with, hey, this isn't a twist off like the first one was. Because Oktoberfest is coming up, I went with an Oktoberfest, and I went with the Oktoberfest for my good friends at Port City Brewing here in Alexandria, Virginia. Now this is a Marzen style beer. You're gonna get anything from a light color to an amber color on a typical Marzen style. Let's keep in mind Oktoberfest technically happens in September, celebrates the harvest. This Marzen style Oktoberfest beer is I think only allowed, or traditionally only allowed between October and April, I believe, or September and April, as it were. So what you get on this is you get some nice toasted malt notes on there that I think is gonna go well amazingly with the barbecue. Not super hoppy, but a nice little beer. Let's taste it with this chicken and see how it goes. Once again, that's like heaven called and said, hey, pair these 2 things together and make it work. Let's go with the potato salad with the beer now. It works well with the tanginess of the mustard, the sweetness of the sweet relish, and the also tanginess of the dill. Let's try it with this corn just to see. Well, overall, once again, that pop of the corn with the salt, this little smoke on the malt of the beer goes really, really well. Wow. Well, there you have it, friends. I've actually impressed myself with this one here. Nice little meal. We've got our barbecue chicken. We put that in a nice marinade. We've got what I called the redneck potato salad, definitely Southern style mustard-based potato salad. Tangy, great. A couple ingredients you can add to that, not raisins if you're so inclined, but a great basic mustard-based potato salad. And of course, my grilled corn in the beer boats, amazing. We started with a Pagan Club cocktail, a great late summer sipper when it's still a little warm on your patio. We paired this meal with the Romana Sancerre Rosé, Pinot Noir, nice fruit notes, nice earth notes. Acid holds up to everything on this plate well. And then of course ended with the Oktoberfest offering, the Marzen style beer from my friends at Port City Brewing. Friends, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great Labor Day and look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, stop coveting, start drinking, and remember, there's always a seat at the picnic table for you for supper with Stub. Cheers, friends.